When the Pixel 7 launched at $599, costing hundreds less than the comparable iPhones and Samsung Galaxy offerings, it made a strong case as to why it should be your daily driver. But then the new iPhone 14 launched, and with the new Samsung Galaxy S23 phones just around the corner, the question is the Pixel 7 still a good purchase in 2023? I'm going to be running through 5 different categories to help you decide if the Pixel 7 is the right purchase for you this year, so let's get into it. Love it or hate it, the design of the Pixel 7 is at least distinctive, keeping that now iconic camera visor from the Pixel 6, but refining it, replacing that plastic housing with a new aluminum matte finish one. Honestly, I love it. Not only does it set the Pixel apart from the sea of left-aligned camera module copycats, but that camera module also acts as a handy grip for grabbing it out of your pocket securely. Aluminum lines the frame of the phone as well, giving the device a premium feel in the hand. In spite of that, the Pixel 7 is actually lighter than the Pixel 6, though it still outweighs the iPhone 14. One change that Google made that I wish it hadn't is to get rid of the two-tone color look of the Pixel 6. Instead, it's now just one solid boring color, with your choices being obsidian, snow, and lemongrass. Google has stuck with the rounded edges on the Pixel 7, which will please some of you, but perhaps not everyone. Let me know down in the comments below, are you team flat edge or rounded? Like its predecessor, the Pixel 7 offers an adaptive 90Hz refresh rate. While not the 120Hz refresh rate that's found on the Pixel 7 Pro, you can still enjoy some smoother scrolling, especially when compared to phones with a 60Hz display like the iPhone 14. The big change with the Pixel 7 is that Google promises a brighter display that's capable of a peak brightness of 1400 nits. We measured only 926 nits with our light meter in our testing, with adaptive brightness turned on. That's brighter than what we saw on the iPhone 14, but not as much as we saw on the Galaxy S22. All the same, the Google Pixel 7 screen is bright enough to see outdoors, even in direct sunlight. I did have to scale the display brightness up to clearly see the phone's controls in the sun, but for the most part the Pixel 7 display remains visible even under less than ideal circumstances. If I have a complaint about the Pixel 7 display, it's the bezel at the bottom of the screen, which is noticeably thicker than what you'd see on other flagship phones these days. It shouldn't be a deal breaker for most, but it's a noticeable downside when compared with the similarly priced competition, and makes the phone feel a little dated in 2023. When it comes to cameras, it's hard to beat Google. And while the Pixel 7 Pro is undoubtedly the king of Android phone cameras, the Pixel 7 holds its own, with an impressive 50 megapixel f1.85 main sensor, 12 megapixel f2.2 ultra-wide lens, and 10.8 megapixel f2.2 selfie snapper. That front camera packs in 2 more megapixels than the previous Pixel generation phone, and has a wider field of view at 98.2 degrees. The wider field of view should allow you to squeeze more of your friends comfortably into front camera shots. The Pixel 7 can shoot up to 4K at 60 FPS and has active stabilization mode, allowing you to smooth out your more adventurous shots. This can only be activated when shooting in HD and not in 4K, but that is comparable to the competition in this price range. Putting specs and megapixels aside, the bottom line is that the Pixel 7 takes great photos and video, with very little effort from the user. Just point, shoot, and be impressed with the results. A lot of that is down to Google's AI smarts. One of the best examples of this is Google's Real Tone, which uses the camera's tuning models and algorithms to more accurately highlight diverse skin tones with real tone software. Overall, the cameras on the Google Pixel 7 are great and definitely hold up in 2023. And while the more expensive Google Pixel 7 Pro obviously outdoes its baby brother with an extra 48 megapixel telephoto lens and dedicated macro photo mode, the Pixel 7 is more than capable of taking top quality home videos, selfies, and photos of whatever you like. When you hit that shutter button, you'll really be disappointed with the results, especially when compared to other phones at this price point. Some of those photo features that I just talked about are only made possible by Google's Tensor G2 chipset. It's Google's second attempt at stepping away from Qualcomm's Snapdragon chipsets in favor of their own proprietary tech. It allows for some great unique features like photo unblur. Took a shaky shot that was out of focus, or have an old photo that was taken on a less than state-of-the-art piece of gear. Don't stress about it. With a tap of a button, your shots can be crisp and up-resed to look like they were shot in better conditions. It isn't perfect, and definitely works better when there's one subject to focus on in the frame. But I'll applaud any feature that gets me one step closer to actually using the phrase, "we'll fix it in post." The Tensor chip doesn't stop with smartening up photo features. There are everyday capabilities that it enables too. Perhaps you'll remember the Direct My Call feature that Google introduced with the Pixel 6, in which the Google Assistant could display a list of call directory options, sparing you from having to remember what number to press. With the Pixel 7, those numbers appear right away. The new chipset can also transcribe audio messages that your friends text to you. Pretty handy if, like me, you absolutely hate voice memos. A software update in December 2022 brought the ability to label different speakers in auto-generated transcripts from the Recorder app, and clear calling has improved audio quality on phone calls as well. The Tensor chipset still isn't the most powerful silicone on the block, but it will get the job done for the vast majority of users. When the Pixel 6 launched, one of my biggest complaints was that the fingerprint scanner was slow. And you'll be glad to hear that that's been improved this time around on the Pixel 7. Not only is the under-screen fingerprint scanner more responsive, but Google has also added Face Unlock. The feature is so speedy that I often end up unlocking the Pixel with my face long before I can even lay my finger in the proper place to unlock it the old-fashioned way. Overall, the Pixel 7 holds its own in the performance department, keeping up with the other Android devices in its price category, and constantly improving thanks to Google's support and development of Android OS. So far then, it's looking pretty good for the Pixel 7, but now onto an area where Google has typically struggled: battery life. Google opted for a smaller 4,355 mAh battery in the Pixel 7 than the 4,614 mAh battery that powers the Pixel 6. So then the Tensor G2 chipset was going to have to do a lot of heavy lifting to get that battery life number up through various efficiencies. Typically, I end most days with around 15% left, with usage including streaming, gaming, and TikTok scrolling. 30 minutes of Apex Legends with Ultra HD graphics settings snapped up 10% charge, so you can't be playing for hours on end without a charge, but you won't be dead after just a couple of hours either. If you still have battery concerns when you're out and about, the Extreme Battery Saver mode promises up to 72 hours of battery life. So then the weakest aspect of the Pixel 7's battery isn't longevity, but recharging. It has the same 21-watt top speed of its predecessor. If you're using Google's official 30-watt USB-C charger, the company claims the Pixel will reach about 50% charge in 30 minutes. In our testing though, with a generic 27-watt PD charger, the Pixel 7 reached about 47% in 30 minutes, and 80% in an hour, and 100% in just over 1 hour and 40 minutes. So Google has improved its phone's battery life, but not exactly knocked it out of the park. There are better options from OnePlus and Samsung if reliable battery is important to you this year. So then the Pixel 7 is a great purchase in 2023. If quality cameras are the most important thing to you, then this budget-friendly handset is a real competitor. And the Pixel phones give you one of the cleanest, safest, and most well-supported software experiences available. And that's without even considering that this phone is older now, and you can often find it even cheaper than its launch price of $599. Even with its less than perfect battery performance, the Pixel 7 is a solid purchase in 2023. And I can't wait to see what Google has in store for us with the Pixel 8 this fall. Did you buy a Pixel 7 at launch? If so, let me know how you're getting on with it down in the comments below. And while you're down there, subscribe to Tom's Guide here on YouTube, and I'll see you on the next one.